last week?
Nibble's
A lot?
real quiet.
He's about fine for me. I don't know, is maybe just your side, Shamey?
How about now?
That's
Oh,
better.
jeez.
Turned myself up a bit.
Maybe you're just speaking quietly because you're tired.
That is also a distinct possibility.
What happened last week? I died.
I think
Well-
I think almost that summarized the entire episode.
He got better.
Yep.
Lycra melted 1,000 GP of diamond into his heart.
500.
500.
And Corwin has a new source of power now because the old one kicked the bucket
Or something.
or something.
But he also has an awesome little dog that is only kind of half visible.
It's visible. It's not touchable.
It's incorporeal.
Incorporeal.
Yeah, something like that.
And something goth face joke. In the while that was happening, maybe because of it, maybe it caused it, big blue light in the sky that afterwards we all remember that happened, and turns out was a ley line that had to do with Liz's dad job.
And high-level magic is kind of fucky.
The if I remember correctly, Liz, one of Liz's fathers, their whole life or a lot of time they spent on casting some sort of protection, I want to say, on the ley lines or reinforcement, that I don't remember, and that was set already, and seems like whatever, like it got burned. The ley line's still there, but the spell protecting it got burned.
Yeah, call it a reinforcement. Basically, the idea was to make magic less, well, wild.
So it controlled magic to a degree.
Yeah. Controlled, just made
It
more
made it-
accessible.
So basically, it's like instead of a hose having a whole bunch of holes in it, it just fills the bucket instead of fills the bucket and spreads everywhere else because of all the holes that it's also flowing out of.
It's a good description. I like that.
And now it's sure flowing everywhere, and Gisela lost her hair, but it's already grown back.
All right.
It's strange, like several instances of wild magic I have seen, that seems to be the one that comes up first.
Yes.
It tried to come up second too.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know what that's about, but
Before
So the
we
plan,
go ahead.
or the plan was to go visit Liz's family to see what the fuck is up. But while we were sleeping, Corwin and Lycra went somewhere.
I don't remember that happening. Like in a dream or walking?
No, he left the house and is going somewhere because he's hearing a voice or hearing sounds.
And Lycra is with him or following behind?
Lycra is being a helicopter parent,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
much to the annoyance of Corwin.
Okay. And the rest of us don't know and went to bed?
yeah, this is the middle of the night, so everybody else is asleep.
Okay. Before we start, Nibbles, I wanted to ask, is it reasonable, I forgot, but is it reasonable that while we were with Iris, I asked for some money if they had in the big hoard?
Yeah, I'd say that's reasonable. How much did you ask for?
Depending on how much they had, a couple hundred gold. It's just so I can buy my stuff without needing to ask borrow.
Sure.
Oh, cool. Thank you. I'm planning to buy stuff now.
Okay, so I believe we left Corwin exiting the ramp down to Metis's lair.
Mm-hmm.
You follow what seems to be multiple voices whispering, overlapping each other. Your typical horror trope of like that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
As you make your way, it appears to be leading you out of the city proper. Like the city, there's the main walled part of the city that would move if it wasn't in place. And then there's the city surrounding that, and it appears to be leading you outside of the walls. And as you are walking about from the opposite direction, you hear a single male voice shouting for Miranda. Just, Miranda, where are you? Miranda.
Do we know any Mirandas?
Well, I don't know any Mirandas. I look at Lycra. Is she reacting to the voice at all?
No, she does not appear to hear the voice.
Do you hear that?
No, which? And as she says that, Lycra dumps inspiration on him.
Alright. You have a d10.
Alright, I will stop for a second, listen, and follow the voice.
Okay. So just to be clear, this is a choice. You can either go towards the single voice calling for Miranda or towards the cacophony of voices. Thing.
Is there one that feels stronger than the other? Like
Make an insight check. Neither one feels stronger or more urgent or like pulling you in any particular direction. The single voice calling out feels newer.
that one.
Okay. You follow the voice wandering through the streets, eventually coming to a nondescript house, just like many others on the street. And you see, standing in front of the house, calling up to the window, what appears to be a man. He's trying to get Miranda's attention. It looks like Miranda probably lives inside that house.
Hello?
He startles a little bit and turns around.
Can everything okay? Do you need help?
I'm trying to. My wife let me into the house. I don't understand. I can't. He reaches towards the doorknob like he's trying to. He's not in front of the door, but like he just unconsciously reaches towards the doorknob as he is saying that.
What's your name?
Kenneth.
Kenneth. Okay.
He appears to be maybe in his late 40s. He's starting on the Lobot hair. I don't know how else to describe that.
I get what you're saying.
Just appears to be somebody who's worked with his hands. He's not fit or cut, but he's like farm strong, if you see what I mean.
Like thick and heavy and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like he could have been maybe a blacksmith or, something along that line.
you don't have keys?
I must have forgot them. And he absentmindedly like pats himself.
No one's answering.
You're asking me or him?
Both him in character and you. Like no one's roused in the house or anything like that.
No, I don't understand. I must have sleepwalked or something. I was in bed, but now I'm out here.
Okay. I will knock on the door.
No response. Maybe 30-second to a minute goes by, and then you hear a scream from inside.
Uh-oh. Lycra, can you get the door open, please?
Hey, Nibbles, has Lycra been seeing all this?
You saw Corwin talking to something that wasn't there, and then went up and knocked on the door.
And does she hear the scream?
Yes.
Okay. She doesn't know what the hell's going on. I kind of figured that was what was happening, so I was being quiet on purpose. She body checks the door open if she can.
Okay, make me a strength athletics check.
Sure thing. Athletics. Medium.
I don't think that's enough, honestly.
There is no tank in this party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Lycra just bounces off the door. As she is doing that, it kind of reacts to both the scream. Sorry, Corwin, you see he reacts to both the scream and Lycra bouncing off the door. I don't think he says anything, but he certainly looks concerned as to what's going on and reaches towards you with a what are you doing kind of gesture.
I said, did you not hear the scream?
He doesn't. It doesn't seem to be processing, I think, is how you would interpret this.
Like he's just deer in headlights?
Yeah, kind of.
Alright, well, fuck it. Repeatedly on the door until I shatter the lock.
Okay. Yes, in combination with the frostbite and maybe another body check from Lycra, you have broken into this house. I would say at this point there is starting to be some attention paid. You see maybe lamps being lit in houses across the street, that kind of thing.
Oh.
You said Lycra heard the scream, right?
Lycra did hear the scream, yes.
Great. Once the doors open, Lycra will look to Corwin and go, I don't know what's going on, but I'm going for the scream. And she bolts into the house looking for the screamer.
Okay, once you're inside, you can hear a woman crying. You follow that sound and eventually locate a bedroom and a woman crying over what appears to be her dead husband's body in bed.
Ooh.
She is now screaming for another reason, as there is a stranger in her room.
I think Lycra kind of half trips over herself, looks to the body. Does it look dead for, nefarious reasons, or does it just look dead?
I'm gonna say that in the current situation with very little light, you would not be able to determine that.
Well, I mean, is there a 3-foot-long sword in his chest?
No, there's no obvious signs of this person was murdered.
Okay. Lycra kind of comes up short, looks back to Corwin, kind of... I mean, she does the creeped out kind of gaze a lot, but still, she kind of does the creeped out kind of gaze. What happened? I heard a scream and came to try to see what was wrong.
Trying to figure out. You look like a lady and are wearing a sigil of station within the city. But you don't necessarily look like a guard.
Isn't Lycra somewhat nobility? Isn't she recognizable?
Yeah, I mean, she's the second daughter of a major house, so
There's a chance she might be recognizable.
yeah.
Oh, she's got the same kind of face as that guy. Right.
Maybe roll a die.
Yeah, just make me a general charisma check.
Sure. A general charisma.
Okay. She calms down only the barest enough to be able to speak. She is still quite upset for multiple reasons.
Obviously.
But she explains, I heard a knock on the door and told my husband to go get it, and he's dead.
And while the lady's explaining that, Lycra will grab a blanket or a cloak or whatever loose fabric's nearby, and kind of wrap it around her shoulders and just make sure it's kind of, securely cloaking her, and then she will look over to the body and try to do a medicine check.
You're lady... lady... go ahead and roll a medicine check. Sorry, you're rolling on her or on the corpse?
On the corpse. I will blow my inspiration.
Okay.
14.
Cathanid.
No, I gave Cathanid Bardic.
Is that... Oh, yes. Okay. Is that how that inspiration works? I don't actually know.
Isn't the human determination, do you mean?
No, this is inspiration that I awarded for a terrible pun.
Inspiration from the DM gives you advantage.
Okay. Yeah, with a 14, you are not able to determine the cause of death, but giving the body a quick look over, it is fairly fresh. You would say less than an hour, and you see no
obvious cause.
Yeah, there's not. It appears as though he has died in his sleep.
She kind of frowns and looks back to Corwin again. Corwin. And she kind of gently...
Just to check, Corwin, did you follow Lycra into the house?
Yeah, is Canet following me?
Yes, he is. Now that the door is open, he has entered, and
okay.
He briefly tried to get his wife's attention, but it seems to maybe be dawning on him, especially since he can see himself laying in the bed, that something is wrong here.
I just turn at him and just say, I'm so sorry.
She replies, why are you looking at both of you here?
And I think Lycra's good enough at fast talking to just quickly explain that they were out for a quiet walk, and she heard a scream, so she wanted to make sure everything was okay. Basically just trying to talk the lady around how we got here.
Roll persuasion and roll deception, actually. Who does the tie go to?
Ties usually go to the aggressor.
Okay.
Same with AC, right?
Yeah, true. Okay, so she does not figure out that doesn't make sense. And begins dissolving into a bit of a mess.
And Lycra will Lycra's basically just going to use sending to send a message to some mid-level city guard she knows that would be on night duties, just reporting, hey, we've got a random sudden death over at this, part of town. Can you please send whoever's on duty in the area to come collect the body? It doesn't appear to be a murder.
Okay.
Essentially trying to just, hand wave the function of getting help for the lady.
Yeah, you somehow hear him salute, and there are people on the way.
And
Is the woman looking a little calmer now?
Either calmer or going into shock. A little difficult to tell which at this point. Not like medical shock, just like
emotional shock.
Yeah, basically.
Lycra, do you want to go downstairs and get her some water or something?
yeah, no, I was thinking tea, but water, tea, something.
Tea would be good. Go make her some tea.
Yeah, and Lycra kneels down before the lady, holding her hands while making sure the blanket's still draped around her pretty well. Look, this is my friend Corwin. I'm gonna go grab you some tea. He's just gonna keep an eye on things to make sure you're okay. I've got help on the way. It's okay. I know I can't do anything to make this situation better, but at least we can try to help you get through the night. And
she nods.
She might have realized Lycra was one of the Cato children, but she just tries to do the whole, we're here to help, don't worry about it. That kind of, don't think about it. This isn't important right now. You're important right now.
Yeah. So you head back downstairs, and very shortly thereafter, I think she follows you. She did not want to be in that room.
Before I leave, I turn to Candidate and say, do you want me to tell her anything?
What do you mean?
Do you want me to say goodbye? Tell her you love her? This is probably the last chance you'll get to talk to her for a long time.
Why?
Hello?
The dead can't speak to the living, can it?
Hello? Oh no.
Hello?
Hello, Costa?
Hello? Oh, Jamie's back? Not back.
Can you hear us?
Wasa?
Cool.
Hello?
Hello?
I hear you now.
Hello?
Hello?
Okay. I think I'm back. I don't know what happened. Sorry.
It's all good. Yeah, you're picking up on the fact that he gets it but doesn't get it yet. He his left hand, absent-mindedly reaches up and starts scratching at his chest. And did you name the dog? I can't remember.
Mirkir.
Ah, yes, thank you. Mirkir starts very softly growling.
What's up, boy?
He's focused on Kenneth.
Does anything appear to be happening to Kenneth?
He just seems to be getting a little agitated, kind of.
What's going on, buddy?
Is that the dog?
That's the Kenneth, sorry.
Well, I mean, we can just fix this, right?
No. I don't think I can. I think it was just your time.
I don't.
Like, he's looking at him with a lot of compassion, and there's a lot of empathy in his voice. It's just, there's nothing he can do. Like,
Mm-hmm. I think at this point we are just down to another charisma roll from you. You do have
Sure.
inspiration, don't forget.
do I need to roll inspiration?
That's up to you.
I'll say no.
Okay. You see him yield to the not force, but what you are trying to impress on him. He begins to sort of yield to that idea and processes it. You see his hand fall away from his chest. It's not scratching anymore, and Mirkir seems to relax.
Can I will attempt to reach out and put my hand on his shoulder. Whether that works or not is anyone's guess.
Yes, actually, that does work. And he looks up at you. What do I do now?
You go on. Go to whatever's next.
And you notice, I think at the same time he does, just from behind you, a soft light appearing in the room.
I kind of nod with my head towards that light.
He sets himself, nods, and says, "Tell her that I love her, and tell her to check the cellar behind the old wine bottles."
Okay.
And he walks off. As soon as he touches the light, both it and he fade away.
How's Pup react?
No reaction. He's just there now.
Okay. I will take the cover up the body.
I think it's about this time that CSI Vroggoll is arriving. So you can just hand the room over to them.
Yeah, I'll just head downstairs.
Yeah, is there anything that you want to tell them before you head out?
He passed in his sleep.
Okay. Yeah, they know who you are. They know who Lycra is, and they accept whatever information you give to them, and they don't try to question you or anything. you get the sense that they're looking at you like you're in charge.
Yeah. And I'll leave them to their business and go downstairs to who I presume is Miranda.
Okay.
And then sort of once redeemed, she's sort of semi-calm. I'll kind of just sit down at the table across from her.
Okay. Yeah, she's sipping on tea that Lycra has provided to her.
Lycra fast boiled it with prestidigitation, so
Oh. I don't think that necessarily registered with her.
This is going to sound weird, Miranda, but I want you to know that Kenneth loved you very much. And he said to check in the cellar behind the wine bottles. Does that mean anything to you?
You have said 3 alarming things. Please
Yeah,
make another charisma check.
I did that on purpose. I'm going to roll inspiration.
Okay.
I was gonna say Lycra's insisting if there's
Another 21. You are not sure. Well, I don't know, maybe Corwin doesn't even realize how much of a bull in a china shop he's being right now.
No.
But she looks a little concerned and confused and just stands up and starts walking down the stairs.
and suddenly Lycra has a new person to hover over.
You follow her down. She's holding a lamp, and you see her go to one of the corners and move some bottles out of the way, and then hear a shocked gasp as she pulls out of a hole in the wall a box with a lot of gold coins in it. And then she turns around, walks back upstairs. Is Corwin still there?
Yeah, he's still there.
How did you know?
Kind of.
Sorry, you broke up.
Did she say, how did you know, or did you know?
How did you know? Yeah.
It's complicated, but just know that he wants what's best for you. And he's putting like as much empathy and meaning in his voice as possible.
Mm-hmm. She has just a dumbfounded look on her face, but she nods.
And that you'll see him again today.
All right.
And I guess he just, because he's still not used to, he barely knows what he's doing and what's going on, so he just kind of awkwardly pats her hand and will leave you be. And again, I'm sorry.
And with not a little bit of a question in her voice, she says thank you. She will ponder this night for a long time.
That's my plan.
Lycra gives her a slightly too strong hug around the shoulders. If anything does come that you need, at least a person to talk to, Miranda. My name is Lycra. You can get a message to me via sister's email address.
When you say your name, you can see that she definitely recognizes that. And then the... I don't want to say a wall, but there is an unspoken way that common folk behave towards noble folk, especially ones that they respect. And
Yeah.
that appears. And she is suddenly, apologizing for everything and trying to get you tea and that kind of.
I don't have command. Lycra simply takes her by the wrists, pushes her to sit back down, gives her a kiss on the top of the head. You've had a long day. Just try to breathe. And good luck with your night.
She nods and manages to stammer out a thank you.
Corwin, we should leave the poor lady.
Mm-hmm.
And
Alright.
yeah, Lycra basically storms out, but on the way past the door, she sees if she can just quickly figure out whether the lock is utterly destroyed or just busted open.
It's not out of range of like a mending spell, but it's pretty mangled.
Yeah, and I don't have mending, so just press, so. Okay, she looks apologetic but doesn't say anything about that. The woman just found a bunch of gold in the basement. She'll be fine. There's guards still in the house. She'll probably be fine.
Yeah, there's people milling about. It's probably not a commander, maybe a captain. Probably not even captain, a lieutenant. Sees you examining the door and assures you that they will take care of it.
And Lycra gives them, a 5-minute, hey, we were out for a walk, heard a lady scream from a nearby house, and it was one of those, somebody screamed in the middle of the night. That's kind of, gotta respond. I assume
Yeah.
the city runs on a hue and cry law system when the guards aren't around.
I'm not familiar with this.
It was the old English system of your neighbor screams that they've been robbed, so everyone in the area bolts to beat the crap out of the person that isn't one of their neighbors, because clearly that's the robber. Is not perfect system.
Yeah, it's a little more modern by our standards than that. The large problem being that there are no telephones. So basically, it's people just run to find the nearest guard. In actual point of fact, there are two squads of people there. One that arrived at your request, and one that arrived at one of the neighbors going to get them. And there's the typical gawkers, trying to figure out what's going on, looking around. At your appearance, there is a slight reaction. A couple people in the crowd seem to recognize you.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say Lycra tries to hide from them, but she does definitely. Once she's had 3 words with the guards, she steps into the shadows and moves away as quickly as Corwin is able to keep up.
Mm-hmm.
Is it pretty obvious that Lycra's incredibly uncomfortable?
I would say so, to the point where she's kind of trying to get into a shadow or corner where people can't see them as they're trying to move away. And if he gets close enough, she might grab his wrist and dimension door the two.
What's wrong, Lycra? He'll stop you from casting the spell first.
Okay. More of just, you know how people start rumors in big cities.
Not really, no. Can you explain, please?
So Lycra will tell a story about, oh, well, this one time one of the nobles was totally not having an affair with the miller's wife, and then one day the miller was dead, and the miller's wife was pregnant with her third child that had the same hair color and eye color as that one noble. And, well, I mean, so did her husband, but no one would stop talking about that for another 14 years.
So you're worried about them seeing you and thinking the wrong thing?
Pretty much.
Oh, okay.
Because...
Take my hand.
Yeah, Lycra takes his hand.
And using sorcery points, I cast on myself, so it moves with me.
Okay. There's a large orb of darkness moving through the city streets.
It's pretty dark out, isn't it?
I mean, there are lanterns every once in a while.
I was going
It's
to...
only 15 feet in radius. It's not huge. Yeah. And also, because of abilities, I can see out of the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
I was just going to teleport.
We can rule of cool and say it works. Who knows why?
Yeah. Can we just rule cool that it's just impenetrably deep shadows that no one seems to notice?
Yeah, I guess that makes more sense.
I really wanted some little kid to see this, orb of impenetrable darkness moving through the streets.
Give me my cool scene!
Mommy, look! It's very dark outside!
Well,
yes, that's denied.
What this effectively does is, instead of the little kid who was definitely already following you, continuing to follow this impenetrable orb of darkness wandering through the streets, he just loses track of you.
You suddenly hear a bong as he knock his head on a post.
Oh.
Alright.
See, I was just gonna, teleport, a block and a half that way. But, reasonable. And Lycra, I won't say she leans onto him, but she at least seems to have no trouble trusting his guiding.
I guess during the 10 minutes, do you have any questions?
A lot. What led you there? How'd you know she was in trouble before she screamed?
I was talking to him.
Who?
Him. Her husband. He was standing outside. Or his ghost, his spirit, something was.
Okay. This is for me. Don't worry about it, Quasta. Lycra looks apprehensive and then decides to deal with what's important first. Okay. To me, you were... Was he talking to himself when Lycra was watching him, or...
You saw him having a conversation with a person that wasn't there, basically.
To me, it seemed like you were mostly muttering to yourself and, searching for something. So, I would...
No, it was not... There wasn't muttering. He was just fully having a conversation. You could hear what he was saying.
A one-sided conversation.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to downplay it. Sorry.
Okay, yeah. If that's what you want to say in RP, just...
Yeah. It seemed like you were almost muttering to yourself or something. So what we need to do, first of all, is make sure that if this happens again, you let us know that we're not, chasing ghosts up the sides of walls or anything, right? And she kind of offers him a, half-hearted smile.
Like, are you all right?
That's what I'm wondering about you.
I mean, I made a deal with the deity of the dead. Is it
Yes.
a stretch of the imagination that I can see or speak to dead people? There are
No,
spells that do that.
no, and that's why I get it. It's just, if that happens again, we need to know that's what you're up to so that we're not worried about you wandering off suddenly 14 hours after you die.
I'm a big boy. I can take care of myself. I get that you're worried, but it's a little overbearing.
Yeah, I know. You died today, so trying to
Oh,
be a little protective is reasonable, I think.
I'm okay. Really, I am.
Cough, cough. 4 points of exhaustion.
Yeah, I mean, he's tired as fuck, but he's okay.
I'm
I
okay.
I completely forgot about that. You should
Yeah,
have been
same here.
making somebody's rolls at disadvantage.
Oops.
It's
Also,
okay.
I guess you're probably still at 1 hit point.
Uh,
Oh no, you healed up.
Yeah, he had a
Yeah,
long rest.
I think I've had a long rest at this point, so technically 3 points of exhaustion, and
I think Lycra will accept his word for it. It's just, it's been a long day, so she starts to suggest it'd probably be best if we just went back to the house and waited the rest of the night out. You know, there's an average of 3 to 5 deaths a day in Vroggoll, right?
yes. Like, are you okay? You seem very off since Murata.
It's been a lot. I'm dealing with it. I'm
What are you
dealing with
dealing
it
with?
better.
What are you dealing with?
We could have stopped it.
Could we have? Do you have empirical 100% positive proof that we could have stopped it?
No, but I also
There.
don't have empirical 100% proof that we didn't have the ability to stop it if we'd been in the right place at the right time.
Okay, but the fact remains is we weren't in the right place at the right time, and that's not your fault. And holding that guilt over yourself because people died is unfair to them. They don't want you to feel that guilt, and to yourself.
And now Lycra's beginning to be the one that's overwhelmed in the situation. I think there's a couple of stammered attempts to respond, reply, or even counterattack, but she,
I think he just pats you on the shoulder. You don't need to respond. You don't need to counterattack or
yeah,
rebut.
she still tries to say 4 different things one at a
Yeah,
time.
and,
Shorthanding a 20-minute
and
angst.
he stops her every time. It's like, just think about what I said, please. Don't hold yourself to an impossible standard. It's unfair. It's unfair to the memory of them, and it's unfair to you.
And she swallows and takes a long breath and stands up a little straighter and then breathes out again and nods and kind of gives your shoulder a squeeze. No, you're right. I'll try.
And don't be scared to talk about it to people. Me or Stella or any of us.
The worst part is just we're supposed to be the ones that help. Not us as a group, my family, our families, our system. It's all about being the person who's trained and
Allegra?
ready and able to help.
Allegra? Are you a perfect being with nigh omnipotent power and knowledge?
Close. I meant compared to the average person.
My point is, it is physically impossible for you to help everyone. Stop holding yourself to impossible standards.
And she kind of does the ugly cry in response to that. Growing up with impossible standards as the norm is a lot to get over from, I guess is how I'll put it. But thank you, Corn. You have a point.
All right. I'm dead tired. Unintended. Let's go back.
Yes.
They are much, much, much quieter and perhaps impossible to notice. But as you walk back, there is still the faint whispers in the back of your mind. Whether or not you choose to pursue them further is up to you.
Okay, hold on one second. I need to know because I'm just hearing it in the back of my head, and it's like just hearing a bunch of people whispering in the library. It'll be 10 minutes, Lycra, sorry.
Okay.
All right. So you continue to make your way to the edge of the city, and just outside the walls, there is a graveyard. And picture in your mind the cartoon idea of a spooky graveyard with like a little bit of fog and there's just an aura about it. There is an area surrounding this graveyard that is clearly delineated from the rest of the area around it and is just kind of spooky.
Mm-hmm.
And you see wandering around in it, not dissimilar to shambling zombies, 8 to 10 people doing the whispers are coming from them. They're indistinct. You don't pick out any words. And you see several of them scratching at their chest the way Canet started to.
Do I see anything on their chest, or?
Make a perception check.
I'll do disadvantage because I am.
Yes. Okay, so 14. You don't see anything external. On a couple of them, it looks like maybe part of their being has actually started to wear away because of this.
So they scratch themselves off?
Well, specifically, the chest area is becoming a little concave. Yeah.
I will describe the scene to Lycra and just tell her to wait here for a minute.
Lycra.
The edge of the graveyard.
What's Lycra seeing in comparison?
You also see what I will describe as the spooky aura. You do not see any of the spirits.
Let me just check a spell. All right.
Spooky. That was a bad joke. I'm sorry.
Lycra gets Corwin to give her a detailed description of one of the people.
I will do so.
Okay.
It says describe or name, so I just want to see what happens if Lycra tries to find one of the spirits.
Interesting. I don't know what happens.
This is a flavor thing that you and Jamie, that's her name, Jamie, might have to talk about.
I'm thinking, and please chime in with your thoughts here, that this actually directs Lycra towards a body in the ground.
That would make sense to me.
How do you feel about that, Jamie?
Sure.
I think actually, if we go with rules as written, it just fails.
Because it's not a
Yeah,
creature. It's
technically
a
it's
No,
not a
yeah,
creature.
it's not a creature.
So with no thoughts of precedent, I will just say that there's a body in the ground that this spell is pinging.
Sure. And while Corin's doing whatever he does now, Lycra will spend the rest of that time just cleaning up, using presentation and stuff, the graveyard, and that gravestone focused on most of all. So she'll be distracted and busy while he's doing whatever he does.
Okay, we will come back to that. Have you entered the spooky area, Corwin?
yes.
Okay. The closer you get, the more the hackles on Mirkul's neck are rising. He does not like what's going on here. And as you cross the threshold from the not spooky area to the spooky area, the spirits seem to become aware of your presence and turn and begin shambling towards you.
Are they acting aggressively?
Uh, they're shambling. They didn't start moving faster or anything.
Is Mirkir acting aggressive, frightened, concerned?
Protective, I would say. Like you know how a dog gets when he's standing next to you and somebody approaches that he thinks means you harm? Like that.
I'm going to just observe them for a bit and see how they react.
Okay. They are continuing to, approach you. They are getting closer now.
Okay, I tell them to stop.
One or two of them that seems to register with, but the more shabby and particularly the ones with the wear marks in their chest where they've been scratching don't seem to register the speech at all.
I want to prepare a cantrip to use in case for my own defense if they get aggressive, but otherwise I'm just going to stand my ground and observe.
Okay. They begin to converge on your location, and it's the crowd reaching out to a famous person kind of thing. So you're not necessarily being attacked, but it's not pleasant either.
I'm being groped.
For lack of a better word, sure.
How do they react if I touch them?
No reaction. Mirkir is really unhappy though. He's started barking and is lunging a little bit.
Like he wants to attack them?
Yes. Are you preventing him from doing so?
No, because I think it's necessary.
Okay. He leaps at the closest one's throat, and as his jaws clamp around their throat, they just disappear.
And I just look at him and tell him, put them to sleep, please.
Is there a visual representation, like, the difference between sending the spirit away to the other place and making the spirit disappear, like not be there anymore? The difference.
Yeah,
So-
it is slightly different. I would say it's more like a dusting as opposed to just fading into the light.
More of an oblivion versus a passing on.
I would say just more of a violent passing on than a peaceful one.
Okay.
He finishes dispatching all but the two that stopped when you told them to.
I will go up to the remaining two and see if I can communicate more effectively with them and basically tell them, you need to go. This isn't good for you.
They are not capable of conversation the way that Canet was, but you do manage to make out one of them hissing out, "Trapped."
They can't communicate that they can't describe how they're trapped or anything. It's just, I know they're trapped.
Yeah, their intelligence seems to have taken quite a few points of damage. But you get the sense that they want to pass over and cannot.
Does anything come to mind on how I could potentially help them?
Well, I mean, you've seen one way of quote unquote helping them so far.
Can I? I'm going to try something dumb. And
Okay.
I don't know if it'll work.
I don't think that has any effect. Both mechanically and also because undead creatures are immune to being charmed like this.
I was trying for the flavor, but
I will say that when casting that spell, it is at least confirmed to you that there is something necromantic going on here. What well, magical effect. Okay. Make the check.
so it'd be charisma plus proficiency.
Just charisma.
Nope.
Oh no.
It
You
would also be a disadvantage
yeah.
because
Not,
it's a check.
I'm not going to bother rolling disadvantage.
yeah, not that matters.
You roll out a
Yeah.
double one. That would be neat.
There you go, Quasta, just for you.
Hey,
It at least is confirmed to you that there is some sort of magical effect going on here, yes. But you cannot dispel it.
I look at the pupper and just point at them and tell the two I'm sorry.
Okay. He does the deed.
And I walk sadly back towards Lycra.
Okay. While all of this has been going on, Lycra, you are attempting to use magic to clean up the area?
Yes, just precipitation words.
It is
Cantrip.
resistant to being cleaned up. The area in general.
Resistance is in no effect, or resistant is in very, very limited, like instead of a 1 foot area, it's like a 3-inch area.
More along the lines of you clean up an area and then move on to another area and then look back 30 seconds later and it's like you did nothing.
I want to bring Estella back here. See if she can see anything.
Definitely, there's something. Look, I cleaned those 7 stones.
Mm-hmm. I know. There's something preventing those spirits from passing.
Yeah, and there's something that's just leaking into this graveyard, keeping it contaminated, dirty, and ill.
Are there any? Is this like a known haunted graveyard, Lycra, or is this like new?
History?
I don't even think you need history. This is not a state that a graveyard, especially this close to the walls, would be normally allowed to remain in.
Yeah, no, this is way below what the city requires people to keep their graveyards in. It's something's gone wrong here.
So this is
Imagine some middle management, low functionary in the government's probably been pulling his hair out over this.
So my guess is either something to do with Mirkul's cleric, or it's something to do with the ley line.
Yes, I'm definitely gonna have to. Yeah, this is a lot.
I would like the input of the others before we do anything else.
And you need more sleep.
That too.
All right.
I think if he doesn't resist, Lycra just dimension doors them directly back, even if it takes 2 or 3 castings, to the house.
Dimension door is 500 feet?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think at this point it's taken a lot out of him.
It's a quarter of a mile. Yeah, you can probably get there with 3 castings of dimension door.
I mean, I can do 6 if you want.
Yeah, we'll say 3 is fine.
All right.
Does she have to roll on the wild magic table?
It's a level 4 spell.
Oh.
Oh, jeez.
I did not realize it was a level 4 spell.
Oh yeah,
Yes, you do.
Dispel magic also needed to be rolled.
Yes, you are correct.
Mm-hmm.
Corwin.
Somebody else is going to join me in my bald hell.
I'm locate creature too.
No, locate. Oh yeah, locate creatures level 4.
Okay, creatures third level. And it's third
It's
level
fourth.
above the top.
4th, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah,
It's
locate
fourth.
creature. Locate object is level 2.
Oh, locate object. Sorry, I was thinking that because Corwin has that. Or Corwin Kamail has that spell.
Okay, so the dimension doors first. I'm gonna say that the thing that happens within 60 feet of where you were, so you don't see it. The next dimension door.
I hope one of these is summon a T-Rex.
After you land for the next dimension door, the 2 of you can no longer see each other.
Like at all, or just each other?
Just each other.
Can I
But we
still
can hear
feel?
each other. So after some awkward yelling,
You're both still, well, you're
I was holding his
holding
arm.
hands or whatever, so you're both still there. You just are invisible for the next minute.
Okay.
And then the last one again happens from where you were leaving, and you don't see. Locate creature. Go ahead and roll that one for me, Lycra.
Well, that's good, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll just say nothing happens there because we're not in combat.
Yeah, one is like you get a roll each round or something like that.
Yeah. And then for Dispel Magic...
give it to me.
I think Lycra's busy, so she probably doesn't notice this other than to hear the slight crashing of pottery into the ground as Corwin very briefly turns into a potted plant, falls to the ground, breaks, and then turns back into himself.
Well, that was disturbing.
Is the
Magic
broken
weird, yo.
is the broken pottery left behind?
I don't think so, no.
Oh,
Is that it? It happened what you said, but is it normally like you are a plant for some amount of hours or something like that?
It's 1 minute, I think.
No, you just are a plant until you drop to 0 hit points and revert.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
And
bother.
petunias don't have that many hit points.
I would say that a potted plant probably has 1 hit point. Oh, no, I'm
Well,
sorry.
there's-
It is until the start of your next turn.
so what you're
as he's
saying is,
falling-
go ahead, Ty.
It's fine. Go ahead.
So you
I
could
know
say
what you
he's
were gonna
gone
say.
potty.
Does Corwin think, oh no, not again, as he's falling?
Oh, of course he does.
Okay. Yes. Please help me remember to do those rolls in the future.
yep.
So, returning to the lair for the evening, I assume that you all just go back to bed?
Yes, and this time
Mhm.
Lycra will go to an actual bed, not just the floor beside his bed.
Okay. And unless there's anything else,
No.
the night will pass, morning arrives, everybody please take the effects of a long rest, and let's take a 5.
It's autumn.
It is autumn.
It's not autumn for us.
It's autumn for me.
Feels like autumn.
Last day of summer, first day of fall is either my birthday
Oh.
or the day before.
I thought you were talking about the graphic.
No, I was talking about the
Oh.
weather.
Isn't the change on the 21?
Yes. So Wednesday, it's autumn.
Clearly spring.
22nd.
I'll be right back.
I'm gonna get some food. I'm hungry.
AFK as well.
I'm back.
Welcome back, Jamie.
I have returned.
Welcome back.
We waiting on anyone?
I'm waiting on tea.
Tea.
Tea. I will be back. Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Were you just waiting on me?
Is everybody else here?
Hello.
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 Gosta East.
Costa did say something about food.
Okay.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Sorry the delay.
It's okay.
Unacceptable. I don't know.
We're getting mixed messages, Nibbles. That's not good.
We need to present a unified front. Okay.
The 5 stages of margarine.
Oh my god. It's morning.
Stumbles downstairs.
I want to say that
We are downstairs. We are
Yeah,
down all of the stairs.
Somehow stumbles downstairs more.
let's say we are at breakfast.
Okay, guys. Some stuff happened last night. And
Like
for the sake-
sleep and rest.
No. And I kind of relay, just to hand wave it a bit, what happened. Since you all heard it.
Lycris kind of standing over his shoulder, still looking pensive.
So, Stella, I'd like you to come with me today to check out that graveyard because something not right is up with it, and I need a second set of eyes.
Um. Corwin, what was the name of the Death's cleric or whatever that he's not happy about? Or they're not happy about?
I forgot to write it down.
Like Rachel, but with a W.
Virgil.
Wurchel. Wurchel or Wurchel?
More Worshel, yeah.
Wurchel? Okay.
Is the worst Rachel.
Wow.
There have been reports in the city of people just dying in their sleep for no particular reason.
There has
And
been.
I'm pretty sure that that has something to do with this Wurchel person.
Did we know
I-
that?
I knew that.
Yeah, you had established that.
I'm asking, like, is this something we all should supposed to know, or is this something Stella knows?
I don't remember if it was communicated or not.
Me
That's
neither.
the player. I
Me
just
neither.
forget.
It's
Estelle keeps so many
she
secrets, it's
doesn't
hard to
share
tell.
anything.
That Ty is correct.
Yeah.
Estelle likes secrets.
So, Corwin,
Yeah.
run me back the name of your new god
Miracle.
and the name of your new dog.
Mirkir. It's dwarven for dark.
Mirkul, Mirkir.
Yeah.
Andrea looks puzzled and say nothing.
Writing these down.
It's a coincidence.
Is it?
The player says yes. The characters can determine it however they want.
I can take a look, but I don't know that I really need to. We kind of pretty sure we know what's going on.
Okay. Do we know if this Worshel person is located in Vroggoll or
No, if she's killing them in the dream, she can be anywhere.
True.
She doesn't even have to be on the prime material.
But there's something
She's probably not on
oppressive.
the prime material.
Yeah, but I guess the point is there's something localized at that graveyard that could be at best a lead. At worst, we fix it.
Yeah, at the very least, it was suppressing my ability to clean the graveyard.
If the worst outcome is that we help the town, I don't see it can be very bad.
Not to mention the poor people who are stuck in between life and death.
Yeah, that's another thing. He sees dead people now.
You unstuck them last night, so theoretically there's nobody there.
But that doesn't mean that more can't happen.
Yeah, and I don't think they're stuck between life and death. I think they're just stuck.
Well,
Dead and stuck.
stuck between here and there, let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where he described a dead person to me, and that led me to finding that person's grave when I tried to find the person.
Thought that didn't happen.
We rolled a little cool that it won't happen in the future, but it did this time.
I think that the more urgent matter is to go see what's up with these ley lines.
Where would we need to go for that?
Home.
Give me 1 second. Gordon rubbish in his bags for a second. I have seen Wershel in the dream, right?
Sure have. You also saw a image of her as she actually is, as opposed to how she presents herself in the dream.
So, would you consider that first-hand knowledge of the
I would.
individual? Then I'm going to attempt to scry them. I pull out the orb.
Please link this spell.
I don't have a link to the spell because I don't have it on my sheet.
Okay, hold on, give me a sec to look it up.
Because it is not a spell Corwin knows, it is a spell the orb knows.
Okay, so you have... actually, sorry, no, you have a likeness or picture and secondhand knowledge. So it's going to be plus 3 on the save.
That's fine.
And wisdom save, give me 1 second.
My DC is 17.
So, if we want to go check out that graveyard, I could, try and make all the undead go away.
I'm sure a cleric should have multiple tools to deal with it once you see it in detail, right?
Likely more than I would.
True. Both of you might have an insight into it.
That is what Corwin would say if he was not seeing the inside of a tent.
Uh-oh.
Just hovering over me, I see canvas.
In one corner of the tent is a bedroll. Sitting on said bedroll is Wershel. She looks haggard, gaunt. She's considerably thinner than the image that you were shown, and her face has like that sunken dark circles under the eyes. She doesn't look like she's doing very well.
Does she have the crazy eyes or the tired eyes or the haunted eyes?
I will say maybe the disturbed eyes rather than the crazy eyes. She is physically, and you can probably guess mentally, not doing great. You see in another corner a large basin full of water. It looks a little old. Piled up next to that is some basically what we'll call just a couple blocks of tofu that are covered in flies.
Ooh.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, the water's fine. But the tofu is not.
Ooh, she's not doing well.
And she appears to be just what you might call meditating.
Since it doesn't specify seeing or hearing, I think it's everything. She's saying anything, chanting anything?
No, it's very quiet. Actually, interestingly, you don't hear much of anything at all. There is wind, like a light breeze outside. The tent flaps open occasionally, and right out front you just see basically some grass.
Okay, so she's in a grassland. She's not in the middle of the desert somewhere or
Yes, that
on
is
a
correct.
mountain. So she's on a plain or a savanna somewhere would be a guess. Okay.
Unfortunately, because she's inside the tent, you don't get a whole lot more from the surroundings.
No, that's fine. I mean, it establishes that she's on this plane of existence.
Yes, that does establish that.
Okay, well, good news is Wershel is somewhere in a tent, not doing well.
I have broken roll 20.
Yay! I mean, boo.
Congrats.
Okay, we're good. And yeah, do you stay for the whole 10 minutes?
Yep.
Yeah,
I'm just
she
taking the time to observe, just in case something happens.
she remains entirely motionless for the whole time, and you don't hear anything else other than the slight breeze outside the tent.
Is Corwin narrating what he's seeing to us as he's in the scry?
I think he would. Like, he's aware how the spell works.
A second.
Hold on 1 second before you go any further. Just need to read. Okay, yeah. Please make a D100 roll as well.
It's me.
Mm-hmm.
I am.
42.
Isn't one of them just a fireball?
We had that one already rolled in.
I would like to start casting a spell as well.
Okay.
What's the highest point I've ever been in this city?
Honestly, probably the prince's bedroom. Or
That's a bit creepy.
Or depending on how much of a tour related to your job you did, maybe up the top one of the legs.
I'll go there. I'll go to the top of one of the legs. Except I'm not going there. I'm casting clairvoyance. The range is 1 mile.
Okay.
I want to make the sensor, and then I'm just going to scan the horizon for any patches of grass that have shown up in the desert.
Okay. Make a perception check.
We're holding on 2 rolls still. 100s.
Yeah, I assume clairvoyance is also above.
Yep.
Yeah.
Womp womp.
You notice nothing out of the ordinary, and regain all your expended sorcery points.
My sorcery points. Can I have spell slots?
Yeah, let's convert that into warlock spell slots since you are not a sorcerer.
Fuck yeah, free spell.
I smell coffee luck.
To see nothing.
I
guess it's probably first thing in the morning, and it's like it's just really shimmery and hard to see anything.
Yeah, well, there's not a lot of fog in the desert, but you look around and see nothing out of the ordinary. There is a little bit of grassland surrounding the city, just based on what they've cultivated for agriculture, but you don't notice more.
Yeah, if Corwin said it was quiet, then it wouldn't be there.
Go ahead, Quasi.
Nah, I was gonna be pedantic.
Okay.
The roll of 100 of Corwin or not?
No, that's fine. You don't notice anything.
So we will need to go to this new place with Liz. But maybe it's a good idea to at least stay a day here and see if we can do something here.
If Liz thinks she can cast off the aura over the graveyard, it's at least worth a stop there.
Also, I need to do some shopping.
Liz, can you get us back here?
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as we're in the same plane, I can get us back here.
I mean, there's a teleportation circle over there, and I was allowed to memorize it.
I understand your concern, but I don't really see why we should spend time making a graveyard look pretty as opposed to the big ley line that's floating in the sky.
They could potentially be linked.
If
I
the god,
think it's much more likely that the graveyard has something to do with Warshall than the ley line.
Okay, but what if it's an easy fix and it could get worse over time, spread?
if it's some sort of undead infestation waiting to happen, could be resolved easily.
Maybe I'm misunderstanding something here. You're worried about an overgrown graveyard?
No, you don't understand. It did not feel right.
We're worried about a graveyard that I used magic to clean, and then it became dirty again, as in there's something strong enough to resist magic.
The word here is desecrated, unhallowed.
I mean, right now we have magic soot spraying everywhere over all of us. And it's stopping, well, it's causing issues with all but the lowest level of magics. This, you know...
I just don't understand why we can't do a side stop before taking off to how many days is it going to take us to get to your place?
10 minutes.
30 minutes?
30 minutes.
It's been a while since I cast that spell.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you had a teleportation circle for your home city as well.
I don't feel right leaving it there. It felt so wrong.
Can we take an hour before we do the teleportation?
Just to
I
put
will
everything,
look at
just to,
Liz.
just to put everything in the table, we also are going to Liz's place to start investigating what's going on. It's not we're going there and we're fixing it right away.
That's correct.
So we don't know how long we're going to be away, and if this gets worse and starts affecting dozens or hundreds of people, isn't that bad?
It's an overgrown graveyard.
No.
How? Okay, you know what? We're going to spend more time arguing. We'll go there. I will cast Turn on Dead to make sure everything that's undead dies, and then we go to see my dad.
I don't think any of you understand exactly what I'm trying to get across. But
I think we need to go. I think we need to go and see her to make the point clear. Also, you need to go to see and clear. I need to go somewhere else. See you in the graveyard. Bye.
That's not good.
Andrea apparently bolts out of the room.
Ashish, can you go with her?
Sure.
Thanks.
Ken, I assume that the two of you are not trying to sneak around.
Uh no, no. But Andrea looks as annoyed that Autumn can looks. She looks annoyed that got followed.
Lycra will disguise herself very, very mildly just in case last night's become part of the rumor mill.
Okay.
Different colored cloak, no visible sigils, no visible jewelry, etc.
All right. So you are the other four are leaving the lair as well.
Yeah.
All right. Let's begin with Andre and Ishis. What you looking for? Also, what's your passive perception?
My passive perception is 17.
Ishis.
20.
You all very conspicuously, as you are exiting the lair, notice a child with an orange tabard disappear into the city.
These are like the kids that are informant of all the gossip, right?
Yep.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, what are you looking for?
Two things. One, pretty quickly, we can do without role playing. I want to buy a poisoner's kit
Okay.
that costs an amount of coin that I don't know right now.
50 gold.
50?
Yes.
Okay, and I want to buy 250 coins worth of materials for making poison. Not doing it now, but I need to buy all the ingredients and I can make it myself.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that.
So I do that and I get the things.
All right. And then you head towards the graveyard, I assume?
No, there is other thing that I wanted to do
Okay.
alone, but I'm with Ashish. And Ray will say like to Ashish, so don't tell the others about this, okay? I'm gonna buy some sort of cake, pie or something.
All right. That's like a silver.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go to see Cat.
Ah.
Aww.
Okay. Um.
I planned on another thing, but now is hey, we're passing by and we both wanted to see you. Hmm.
All right. Yeah. You are not made to wait or anything. You're just shown in. Um. She looks up from writing a letter with the child that you saw earlier standing in the room and says, "Oh, well, I guess I don't need him to deliver this then."
Ah,
She tears up what she was writing and then pulls a different letter out of her desk and hands this to you and says, "Can you please make sure Leica receives this?"
sure.
It is sealed.
Okay.
We can address later whether or not you want to try to look in it. And then she gives you the "What's up" look.
I wanted to come and see you now that we're here and say hi. We bought we brought a pie. Do you like pie? Oh god, I didn't know if you like pie. Do you like pies?
She is happy to see you. Is there something specific you're going after here, or just catching up, basically?
No. Just role playing. Andrea wanted to see Cat.
Okay. She will give you a lot of the details. She is essentially taken over Lady Siv's role in what's the word I'm looking for? Temporarily, while the search for a new noble family to replace her. Um, you can tell that she has been very busy, but seems. I'll say happy. I was gonna say content, but I think she is stepping into her new role with gusto.
Cool.
Um, at a couple points during the story, she blushes slightly. And make an insight check.
No.
Autumn don't care.
I don't care. I don't know.
The other thing that you picked up is that she is also aware of the deaths in the city. There's only been about 4 at this point.
Yeah, I will. Now that we're just talking about things, I'm gonna ask like what she knows about that and about the graveyard and about last night light of Leyline.
Yeah, she is already aware of that. It has been added to the open case file, for lack of a better term. But she's not in charge of that part, so just passing along information essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and the other thing she mentions as she's giving the letter to you is that it arrived 2 days ago, so it's fairly new.
Oh, it's not from you. Okay.
No, it is from. I guess it would say on the outside that it is from Diana. I don't know that you know who Diana is.
Okay.
Yeah, the group as a whole has not been to Nerona yet, right?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, yeah, I don't think Andre would know who Diana is.
Mm.
Okay. Was there anything else? Oh,
No.
sorry, there has been a noise. I will be right back.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Hey, while we wait, Miss, do you want to do or say something?
Not sure.
You can play out or do whatever you want on the thing, but I think Ashes will know that. Like we'll see like the Andrea looks uncomfortable and unusually nervous to be Autumn. Like Autumn normally is very very tame and self-controlled, and it's not now. It's like nervous.
Huh.
She just gets to know everybody's secrets.
Okay,
Wait.
sorry about that.
Wait, Ashish isn't a pirate?
Yarr. Okay, sorry. Was there anything else that you were looking at?
I was asking like if Miss wanted to do something. I think she said no. And I just like let's say we do small talk, gets awkward at some point, and I say I should go. They're waiting for us.
Okay. And we now transition to them as you make your way through the streets of the city. You are, I assume, heading directly for the graveyard? Question mark.
Yep. Beelining it.
Mhm.
Alright. You arrive. The aura of spookiness persists. Just to make sure we were just role-playing people not understanding what was going on here.
I think Estella just doesn't really...
Get it?
She just doesn't really get it, yeah.
Okay. I will allow you to determine whether or not once she sees it, if she gets it.
How... Like, does it just look overgrown?
Honestly, to us, it would look like something just straight out of a cartoon. It's like, whoever designed this is trying to communicate that this place is spooky.
It's a Tim Burton graveyard.
Yeah, kind of. Like,
Okay.
somehow the sun is darker here.
It is visibly, spiritually, physically not right.
Yeah. Like, you can tell looking at it that something's going on.
See?
We're all black and white in this corner of the room.
Yeah, maybe. Like, the color's drained from the area a bit.
I will use Eldritch Sight to detect magic. I'm sure that I'm gonna get a ping.
Yeah, it's like a dome, basically. Like, there is a dome of magic over this graveyard. Centered right on the middle of the graveyard.
Is there something in the middle?
It's like headstones.
Nothing that's giving me a ping is like, this is the center of whatever this effect is?
Not that you can see from the entrance.
I will go inside.
Okay.
Go towards the center.
How long does detect magic last?
10 minutes.
Okay, yeah. I don't, because you have detect magic up, I don't think you need to roll. Looking around, you do eventually, probably not even eventually, you do fairly quickly locate etched into the back of one of the headstones a rune that is apparently the source of this effect. And you have a thing that lets you know stuff about writing?
Yeah, I can read all writing. But it doesn't tell me what language it's actually in.
Okay. I think you would probably just understand this to mean cage. Maybe even soul cage.
Interesting.
Ooh.
I'm keeping this to myself for now. I don't know if the others followed me in here or not.
Corin would.
Like
I
Corin as
read
well.
Primordial, Common, Dwarvish, Draconic. Is it a familiar script to me?
It is not any of those languages. Let me check to see if they share. I think primarily. Okay, so that's Dwarvish. Hold on. Sorry, Primordial, Common, Draconic.
Common.
What else? Common. Okay, no, you do not recognize the script.
I'm gonna write it down in my notebook to the best of my abilities.
Okay. You have copied it down.
And then I'm gonna grab a dagger out of my pack. Like 2 of them apparently. And just try to put a scratch through it.
Okay. Yeah, fairly easily actually. You disrupt the rune, and it's not like flipping a switch, but the light seems to return a little bit. A little bit of color seeps back into the area.
Do I feel any different about the area when that happens?
Yeah, you notice it returning to, like I said, it's not a switch, so you probably maybe want to do some cleanup if that's your thing. But
Yeah.
You get the sense that it would probably stick now.
Give it a try.
Okay. Yeah. You prestidigitate a little area. It stays prestidigitated.
Hey, Corwin,
Yeah.
what was Worshell's beef with Mirkul?
How did you describe it, Nibbles? They basically got all the death kind of just mentally broke them.
Yeah, they were essentially driven mad by the flood of souls.
Yeah. So this is just my internal monologue right now. Would it make sense that maybe Worshel is trying to stop the souls from passing on because it's causing her some sort of existential pain? So that she's trapping them in between.
Are you saying that out loud?
That's his internal monologue currently, but I kind of want to like I'm trying to like Corwin's thinking and mulling it over and sort of talking to himself. Aka the DM, if he's on the right track, or if it's something he would dismiss.
You can make an insight check. I mean,
I'll put it forward as a theory to everyone. Like, this is a theory. It could be right. It could be wrong. I don't know, but
If she was trying to keep souls from going to the does big finger quotes beyond, then why is she killing them in the first place? That doesn't make any sense.
again, driven mad. Things don't make sense. People do strange things when they're crazy. I don't know.
Hey.
Hmm?
Well, Liz is gonna cast. This might have no effect whatsoever, and probably doesn't. Is going to cast Turn Undead.
Okay, can you link that for me? Also, that's a feature, right? Not a spell.
Yeah, it's a feature. Let me find it. There's a lot. I have a lot of class features.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Ooh.
And there's
Ooh.
an additional part to it.
Yeah, destroy. Okay, I think we will say as part of this feature, you are aware that there are currently no undead in the area. So you can at least be certain of that.
Let me tell you, in Tomb of Annihilation, Turn Undead is so clutch.
I bet.
Well,
Tomb of Annihilation's Amen team.
I think we've done all we can do here.
I agree. Thank you.
Okay.
It definitely
Okay.
feels like it was worth our side trip to remove the weight on this place. Thank you, Estella.
And at about that point, Andrea shows up with a she's in tow.
I thought you were going to say, like, they finished too quickly, they go to do something else, and I came to the empty graveyard.
Yeah.
I mean, it is an
No.
empty graveyard, so to you, you just showed up and you're like, this is the place you guys were worried about? What the fuck?
We are back. No, I don't want to say it like that.
And we are done.
Greetings.
Problem solved.
Lovely.
Problem dealt with for today.
Easy peasy. Nibbles, can I ask you for the price of bottle of whiskey and bottle of wine?
1 gold and 5 silver.
Hey,
Okay.
Nibbles, can I make a suggestion?
Okay.
Kat gave it to her. Because Kat would have known her addiction for alcohol.
Okay, yeah, I'm cool with that.
Ooh, neat. Let's say instead of a bunch of bottles that I bought, let's say that she gave me, let's say, 3 nice bottles of whiskey.
Yeah, she can procure anything she wants at this point, I think.
I'm just saying an amount that Kat will feel good and not feeling like how to call it a liquory.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was about to buy like a dozen of bottles, and okay, I'll stay with 3.
Jeez. All right, yeah,
I
let's say 3.
mean,
Mm-hmm.
So this is the good whiskey. This is like 15-year-old Glenfiddich.
Yeah.
What do you say, Ty?
Kat knows how much you like to drink.
You tell me how much she gives me.
You guys said 3. I'm not gonna go.
Yeah.
I made my suggestion and it was accepted. I'm not gonna add to it.
If she
Okay.
had known that you were coming and there was more time, maybe it would be 15. But this was like a
Yeah.
spur of the moment thing.
It would have been
Fair
3
enough, fair
crates.
Fair enough.
These are the 3 bottles she saw, thought about her, and went, "Yes, I'll put this one aside, and I'll start building a small war chest for next time she visits."
So we are back, and everything is cool. Seems like.
Yep.
Lovely.
Yep.
So
We're ready to teleport, I guess, at Liz's convenience.
Okay, cool. Before that, Lycra, Kat had you a letter, and I handed it to you.
And Lycra kind of seems to blush and stammer. Thank you. Thank you. I definitely need to... Damn it. And she kind of paces away from the party for about 10 steps and then breathes out, walks back and kind of is looking at Corwin and clears her head and says, "At some point I need more than a day in the city. But this is important. We'll deal with this first."
Okay.
Hey?
Just to check, Andrea, has the seal been tampered with?
Nah, Autumn wouldn't.
Seals are pretty aggressive.
Cool. You let me know, David, whenever Liquor wants to read it.
Yeah, it goes in her shirt. This is on the why she needs more than just a day in the city at some point. It's not a critical, it's a she didn't even say hi to her sister or her cousin or get a replacement diamond yet. So.
Yes. All right.
Liz looks pensive. She's looking at the ground like, this is not an okay spot to make this. We need to go somewhere else.
Yeah, I thought you would needed to like the other teleport circle to cast it on the other thing. I don't know how magic works.
She's gonna have to make the teleportation circle for them to step through. But she knows the idea of making a teleportation circle in a graveyard is not okay. Most likely because she tried to do it once and got yelled at.
Goal.
Just to check, you are using that and not the other thing?
I mean, did we okay the other thing?
Yes, the other thing goes there.
Okay. Then we're doing the other thing.
All right. How
Before
does
we
that work?
leave,
Ooh, okay.
I want to just surreptitiously glance at what's on the head of this headstone, or the front of this headstone, to see if it's a name that rings any bells, or if it's just random.
It's just random, yeah.
Okay.
It's. I didn't even think of a name. Sorry.
You give us a name like Lars, and for the rest of the game, we start looking for clues for who the hell is Lars.
Mm-hmm.
You think that it was chosen because it was dead in the center of the graveyard.
Okay.
I want to point out that Andrea didn't explain where she went, but she said to Lycra that Cat had a letter for her. And also, Nibbles, I think I want to buy some wine still.
Yeah. Just mark down a gold bottle.
Yeah.
I assume for this spell you are still moving out of the graveyard.
Nope.
All right.
This is just verbal.
That's true. All right. So you and up to 5 willing creatures within 5 feet of you instantly teleport to a previously designated sanctuary. Do you want to?
Cast Word of Recall.
Yeah. Do you want to add any like flavor on top of that, or it just happens?
I think she asked, "Are we okay to leave?"
Yeah, let's
Okay.
go.
The second she says, "Okay," cast goes off.
Lol.
And Lycra's like, no, but yes.
All right. So without any,
Ooh.
there's nothing involved here other than her just saying the incantation. Every time you have seen a spell like this performed before, there has been 10-minute process of drawing a circle and
It's 1 minute, by the way. I double checked.
word of recall casting time 1 action.
No, for teleportation.
Oh yes. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, 1 minute. But yeah, Liz just says the thing, and you are in the central chamber, right in front of the altar of the temple to the god of magic.
That was quick.
Wow.
Is there a D100?
Yeah. Please roll D100.
Oh. Well, at least level 6 doesn't add to it.
Okay. Your face is suddenly very itchy.
Liz's hand comes up and scratches it as she yells at Father.
You have a beard made out of feathers,
What?
and you actually see him. He is right in front of the altar, apparently deep in prayer.
Liz takes off her gloves, face steps to her father, and gives him a hug.
Yeah. At the sound of your voice, he looks up and turns around and returns your hug, and you sense, based on the look on his face, and he seems like he was a little stiff. Excuse me, a little stiff standing up. So you guess that he had maybe been there for quite a while, and he seems troubled.
Father, did you see?
I did. Are you okay?
Yes, but magic is not.
But
Weird
you
things.
you can still hear him?
Nibbles?
He is referring to your god.
Oh, I know who he's referring to. I actually meant to ask
Oh.
earlier. Like, is Liz getting panicked messages about the fact that the ley lines are on fire?
She did not, and as far as she can tell, other than the weird stuff, there's nothing different.
don't feel without him.
I do. Since, and he gestures at the sky, I have felt. Ooh, God damn it,
Goodbye?
Bard. I have felt alone.
Liz hugs him tighter.
But you do not. He is questioning.
I assume the answer is she does not, right?
That is correct.
I don't want to just say something when it was wrong, so.
No, you're correct.
No. Are you still able to... Do you still have your magic?
Mechanically, he is still able to cast spells. Anything, and I don't know Paladin well enough to tell you what it is, but anything like divine intervention, that kind of thing that would rely on a direct and active connection with the deity, that does not work.
Don't think Paladin has divine intervention.
Yeah, I was just using that as an example.
Kind of divinity and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do, Dad. Father, I came to see you because I wanted your help, but I didn't know it would affect you like this.
Well, and he says this without the normal conviction that you would expect from a statement like this, but he gestures at you and says, "At least some of my prayers have been answered." But you get the sense that he's speaking more, not like this is an actual answer to prayer, but he's just glad that you're here.
Do you have any idea what to do?
I think at this point he realizes that you are not here alone. And he regards the rest of the group and says, "Well, let us start with tea." And ushers you all off to the back of the temple.
I want to say just as he look at us, I just bow greeting.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, what does he look like?
He is a man, slightly shorter than Liz, so we'll say about 5'8". Does that sound about right, Ty?
I have no idea how tall I made Liz.
I thought you made her fairly tall, like 5'10", 5'9".
I thought I made her at mid-height at 5'6", because I always make short characters or tall terror characters.
Hmm. Okay, well maybe he's slightly taller than Liz then. He has probably blonde hair, but it is also gray/white mostly. A kind face and gray eyes. He is currently not wearing any sort of armor. He's just in, like a linen tunic and pants like you would wear when you're in a temple and not out in battle. Short hair, a little wavy. Human,
Mhm.
not elven. As he ushers you into the back, there's a living area, basically like a house built onto the back of the temple. And you all find seats throughout the kitchen as he prepares a pot of tea and some, refreshments. So, I see you have found some friends. And you can tell that he's probably looking for an introduction.
Liz goes around and introduces people. And when it gets to Corwin, she's like, he's the one who made that feeling we felt.
Eh?
Ah, I see.
It may have been the other way around.
The feeling we felt made him?
Yeah, what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Can you clarify that for the DM, please, Jamie?
And the player?
Oh, I assume that they're talking about the ley lines going poof.
No, the.
Oh,
They
okay.
are not.
You know what? Find out in RP.
Oh.
He looks at Corwin. That's some powerful magic for us to have felt it all the way out here.
Yeah. God in my head. God left, died. Other God filled void with deal. And here now, trying to fix things.
Well, I think it is less important now, but at some point I would love to pick your brain on that.
Please say figuratively.
You understand from context that he means figuratively.
Okay, thank you.
Once he turns his attention elsewhere, Estelle kind of mutters to Corwin, "You never cease to amaze me with how open you are. That was not a compliment."
Like Liz wasn't gonna tell him everything anyway.
Could you repeat that? You were really quiet for me.
Me?
Yes, you.
Okay, muttering back to Estella, like Liz wasn't gonna tell him everything anyway.
Estella hums and doesn't say anymore.
Okay. And so he serves refreshments and is sitting with all of you, and you can tell that he is. He seems to be a little lost.
So we had dinner. Then
Wait,
Andrea went to eat pie, and now we're having refreshments.
Oh, that would have been breakfast, but yeah. And he would have been introduced as Aziraphale, the paladin of the Dioscuri.
A Seraphel?
I have no idea what you're talking about. This is father.
And what's the name of this place? Do we know? As Liz said.
Let's say that Liz present him as father, and Andrea asks, and how we might call you Mister.
Father?
I don't know that this place has a name other than the Temple of the Dioscuri.
Oops. The Temple of the...
I'm typing it out for you.
In the name of Dad, please.
Oh my god.
There you are.
Dioscuri, yeah.
Oh my God, I cannot write that.
Is he wearing a cardigan?
No.
Oh.
But I see what you did there.
I need to go and save my room by BRB.
Oh no. Yeah, so he is uncharacteristically, Liz, you would know he is uncharacteristically, like he's going through the motions of entertaining the visitors, but it seems to be just muscle memory. Basically, his mind is definitely elsewhere at the moment.
And for Lycria's geography lesson, about how far away are we?
Fuck far.
Yeah, I don't think, especially without being able to see the stars right now, or even the sky at all because you're inside, I don't think Lycra has any clue where she is.
So not on the same continent?
You don't think you know?
Yeah.
I think you both DMs needs to work on making an expanse of the map.
I mean, I know where you are.
Liz knows where you are.
I was going to say, I think Lycra's geo-knowledge is good on this side of the mountains, but anything on the other side of the mountains becomes... No, I've heard of a city over there.
Actually, make me a nature check. Yeah,
Sure.
make a nature check.
Survival?
Or survival if that's higher.
Survival's 5 points higher, but I like nature.
Okay. You do at least get, based on the sunlight and what you can tell of the angle of it from coming in the windows, that you haven't gone far enough to change that significantly. So you're still in the same time zone, at least.
Oh, we went north. Because you've always talked about the continents being the southern hemisphere.
Mm-hmm.
That is an assumption you are fine to make if you wish.
I think once it becomes clear that this is kind of devolved into a tea service, Lycra will start sipping her tea and then quietly open and read the letter, just privately.
Okay.
Not ignoring the conversation around the tea or anything, just reading to herself.
Make that available in your journal. Okay. Yeah. So he continues to answer questions, but like I say, this is at this point kind of driven by y'all. He is elsewhere unless prompted, mentally elsewhere.
So it is my understanding that you all have done a great deal of work to take care of the ley lines and cultivate them. Is that correct?
Yes, it has been one of the primary charges of our order in its recorded history, and that effort seems to have been set back quite significantly.
Do you know if it's just the one that's untethered?
Oh, you must be coming here from a point, and he looks over at Liz. West? Southwest? Which you would know to be true.
Yes, Father.
And he just sort of looks at Estella and gestures to go look out the window.
I will go look out the window.
You see 12 different ley lines in the sky, all converging directly over this location.
Oh dear.
Normally they're not visible, right?
That is correct. You can gather that this is one of the magical poles of the planet.
So, do you have any idea of why this might have happened? How we fix it? Or how you fix it?
Other than beginning our work again, I don't even have the ability to. I am. He trails off into that
So,
thought.
Mr. Seraphael,
Hmm.
uh, do you have any theories of how is this possible, or who could have done it, or any initial thought on how start to do something like this?
This what does he say? In almost a not really a pleading voice. What is it? What is the basically what he communicates is that his main concern right now, like the ley line seems like a real bad thing, yes, but the thing that really has him worried is that he can't communicate with his god anymore, which happened at the same time as this appearing. You also gather from the conversation that it started here and spread out from here.
Started here the disruption of the work.
Yes, because you saw it coming across the sky from the east to the west.
Right.
So it originated here and spread out across the planet.
In that case, do you mind if we do a quick sweep around? I don't know if you did it already, to see if there's any tamper of someone else here.
Also,
I don't know if
has
someone
any
else is here.
has anyone pointed out that it's not the only god that people have lost communication with, for lack of a better term?
You are free to do so.
Oh yeah.
Addressing Quastus first. Yes, I mean he is not alone here. There are other acolytes, and there has been no intrusion or anything like that they are aware of. You are absolutely welcome to have a snoop around and see if you can locate anything. And then to answer Cathana's question, he does not like hearing that story. That seems to upset him further.
About
Well,
Ogma?
reality is often uncomfortable.
Yeah.
What did you say, Jamie?
I was just confirming it was about Ogma.
Yeah, I assume that's what you meant. Yeah, he's not being unreasonable or anything, but that certainly seems to add to the disturbedness.
Looking at Aziraphale, would you say that these your god would have been? Who would you say your god would have been in antithesis or opposed to?
Why would anybody be opposed to magic?
Yeah.
Lots of people would be.
Makes the reason that there are opposite powers in the cosmos, right? Like if the god of truth and knowledge, their opposite is the god of lies that's giving us problem.
For
What will be
every
the opposite of the god of magic? God of mundane?
life is full of dualities: hot, cold, dark, light.
Well,
The Dioscuri isn't just about magic, though. It's about controlling magic.
It is about the order of magic.
Say it's about control too, isn't it?
So, to answer your question, the force that would be directly opposed to us would be chaos, essentially.
That doesn't good. Sounds good.
Sorry,
And
what was
he's very much picked, like, based on the story that you've explained to him with Agma, with Sirik being kind of directly opposed to him, like, he doesn't know of a god of chaos, but that, like, he is kind of indicating that that is his best case.
I kind of look around at the rest of the group and go, makes sense, doesn't it?
Yes, I know nothing of the gods of this world that I guess are my gods too, but this sounds dangerous.
I'm just wondering how that device could have been involved. Oh, shit, something I want to try to do is scry for that device while I'm here. Pulls out orb.
He then seems to have a realization, but this situation is different. It's only I that have lost contact. My daughter is not changed at all.
Forgive me if I'm wrong, but most deities only have one representative on this plane as a conduit for their powers, right?
No, I mean, obviously, there are two here. I'm sure other gods are similar.
Is that backed up in what Corwin knows?
No, exactly the opposite. Everything that Corin has known, specifically from Metis and any other research you've been managed to do, that is the opposite of true.
Yeah, that is literally the opposite of everything that we know to be true. That, for whatever reason, deities can only infuse their divine will, for lack of a better term, into one willing avatar, uh, representative, what have you. So maybe yours was special, but whatever happened has caused them to lose that uniqueness.
I don't think he responds, but he seems to consider this. This is also news to Liz. I don't know if Liz has any feelings about this. She is also under the impression that this is a normal thing.
Liz looks worried that she stole something very important from her father.
Estella,
Mm-hmm.
when you have a moment,
Yes.
no, Laker was trying to say, when you have a minute, we need to talk. So she's not trying to interrupt your current conversation.
I can go off and talk with Lycra.
Yeah, I was gonna say, with the conversation perhaps stalling a little bit, there had been some talk of wanting to investigate the grounds. Maybe we do those two at the same time.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
will. I will say like I have no help in this magic investigation, but maybe Ashish and I can do a sweep around the temple and see what we can find.
Okay. Yeah, anybody that wants to do that, I will say generally I will not let you make a roll when you don't really have a good chance of succeeding. But in this case, I am willing to entertain the possibility of natural 20s. So anybody that wants to make an investigation of the grounds, you can do advantage, any buffs that you want to do, or do it individually. I will let you do so now.
I ain't got no buffs anymore. Also, I'm still
Lycra,
tired.
Lycra will send one person off with inspiration, just, in case. And Nibbles, Lycra passes Estella the letter.
Okay.
I'll do my best investigative work. That's the best I can do.
Is Liz's father coming, or is he staying behind?
He will stick close to Liz, wherever she goes. So if she is doing investigation, she can have advantage from him being with her.
Double checking something, but I'm pretty sure she just has advantage.
Okay. Did that pop up for you, Jamie?
Yeah, I'm reading it right now.
Okay.
She is gonna cast guidance on herself, though, because I like bullshit.
Hey, that's what it's there for.
Yeah, never mind.
Haha. Guidance happens automatically there, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll it.
Jesus.
Okay.
Woohoo!
Maxing
Liz
out
knows
everything.
her home.
Yeah. It's appropriate that this is Liz. We will be right back.
Ooh.
Secrets.
I'm so happy I don't have to go to work tomorrow.
Jealous.
You guys don't get a holiday in Manitoba?
What's a holiday?
The
Oh, right, you work in service.
The Queen or something?
Yeah.
some provinces have it as a stat holiday or bank holiday.
Not us, though.
Not Ontario, because Doug Ford is Doug Ford.
Yeah, I'd only heard that some places were going to treat it as a bank holiday and nothing else. I hadn't heard anything else about it. Apparently, we have less holidays than the rest of the world, though.
We have returned.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
I will allow Liz to share the things she has discovered at her discretion.
So I guess while everyone else is searching the grounds, Lycra and I are standing around in the same room talking about the letter.
Yep.
That's what Lycra wanted to do.
Okay. Yeah, Estella reads the letter.
So it's not just Vroggoll.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, something's actually seems to be manifesting in the Cape.
Does Lycra want to make an insight check?
Yeah, I guess.
GM.
Stella
Okay.
Stella knew everything. She's the most guilty.
Estella is the big bad evil.
I've been saying that forever.
Yes.
I mean, this does seem like something up our alley, but isn't this more important?
Me and Corwin had a conversation about not feeling guilty for things you can't deal with. But that also means dealing with things you can deal with. And she gestures to the sky. That's something I can't deal with.
You raise a good point.
I mean,
I guess my worry is we're stronger as a group, and Liz may have to stay to fix this.
yes, I just want
And
this concern to be acknowledged as something we as a group can definitely deal with. And if we have to put it second after we find out whether Liz can deal with this or not, that's life. But it's definitely something that we need to consider as our next step, unless Corwin can locate the fallen cleric. Because the fallen cleric's definitely the highest priority besides the magic leaking. But after those two, which are both things that, yeah, we might be able to deal with it, but, you know, they're complex issues. This one might be simpler.
Nibbles, where the fuck did that letter go? I closed it and now I can't find it.
It's in Lakers folder.
Oh, here we go. Estella stopped listening after like the first 10 words and went back to reading the letter a second time. Do I know where this place is in relation to the city? Have I heard of this Cavern of Redoubt?
It's trying to think of like a real world analog. It's kind of like a ruined castle. It's not a castle, it's just a short it's a readout. It's basically a small military installation that they use as kind of a lookout tower. But it's been abandoned for, you know, it's a known feature, kind of like, oh yeah, that's, you know, castle whatever that's up the road that people go to for wanting to see a historical thing. Mm-hmm. But it's not in use or anything.
How close to the city is it?
It's not like right next to it. It's inland, a couple days travel, like 2 or 3 maybe.
Okay.
On a much smaller scale, it's the same kind of vibe as Alcalara in your campaign.
Yeah.
Just an abandoned thing that's out there.
Okay.
And I'm not saying we need to abandon Liz's father or anything. It's just on the tetrarchy of priorities, this definitely needs to be placed as something we definitely can deal with if we can't deal with the other two first.
Mm-hmm.
Lycra's been talking this entire time, and that's probably where you came back in.
Yeah. Let's go see what they've found, if they've found anything yet.
Lycra very not subtly tries to hold out her hand for the letter.
I'll give it back.
She quietly puts it back in the envelope and puts it back in her tunic.
All right. So you regroup with everybody, having completed their lookabout of the area.
Mm-hmm.
We found that I don't understand anything about this area.
Father, what's in that area? She points at the unremarkable area.
Well, I have never been called down there myself, but I am led to believe that were we to be summoned for a face-to-face audience with our God, that is where we would be summoned.
Why is that stone in the wall?
And Liz has pointed out for everybody to see a small rock half fused into the wall at the end of the corridor.
Okay.
Which is where we will end for today.
To be
Oh, I
clear,
was gonna.
Ooh.
to be clear,
Dun,
is
dun.
the place that Liz was asking not the same as the rock in the wall?
No, that is the same.
It's the same.
Mhm.
Okay.
Dang it! I should have gone and seen her dad first.
Good session.
Tetrarchy of needs.
Y'all have
So-
a lot of quests now.
Jamie, I
Yeah.
appreciate
Yeah.
Estella's skepticism and stubbornness sometimes.
I like, given where she's from, like, I just don't think that she really thinks about, like, souls or the afterlife or any of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
To be
Like, I don't
honest,
even know if Estella believes in an afterlife.
any other day, Andrea would have thought the same. She just wanted the day off to go and see Cat.
Alrighty. On that note, I have cheesecake upstairs waiting for me.
Very
Yes,
nice.
Enjoy some cheesecake. For me.
Cheesecake.
I have
will.
groceries that will be here in about 5 minutes.
Woo, groceries. Alright, I will catch you guys later.
Be awesome.
Yeah,
Good
laters.
night.
Bye.
Enjoy your day off tomorrow,
Bye.
Costa.
Thank